Hi, everybody. Welcome to our channel. This is Luis Bedoya, real estate agent in Largo, Seminole, Pinellas County, and I have here today,
Austyn Shuman with Revolution Mortgage.
all the way out from Idaho. You may already know him. Austin is my business partner and good friend, and we help a lot of investors find the right properties here in Florida in the Pinellas County. Please forgive me if my dog is back there running around in circles, but today we have a very specific property that we wanted to bring up to your attention that's currently up for sale in the market. The address of this property and name. And again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like and subscribe, follow us. Welcome to our channel. The name of the property today is 1242 Whisper Drive. It's an Airbnb investment that we want to point out to you. So today we want to make a short analysis on this property, a breakdown of the property, talk to you about the amenities, pros and cons, numbers, and a little bit of our strategy of how to make this property a successful Airbnb. Anything you need to add, Austin?
Yeah, we're also going to talk about the financing piece of it and what this potential or what this property's investment potential is and how we are how we're going to make this thing make some money. So I have all the numbers and everything ready for us today. We're going to go over those and we're going to see exactly what this property can do even at the current interest rates.
Wonderful. So what I'm going to do right now, Austin, is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show everybody a little bit of the property and how they can get more information on it. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And this is always a process.
Yep.
All right. Let me know if you can see it.
I can see me in there too.
So folks, if you like to stay in touch and connected with what we have going on here in the Pinellas County, our investment opportunities, or just the tips and tricks that we're constantly sharing, please reach out to us via the Short-Term Rental Family Florida Short-Term Rental Circle on Facebook. That is our private community that we use to communicate with you. As you notice, we have videos coming up to you and addressing you in different ways about different points, sharing our guides about investment properties in the Pinellas County as well. So you can also find our properties on YouTube. If you go and look, my name, Luis Bedoya, that's the name of my channel. And on this channel, we actually have the property that we're talking to you about today. So if you want, you could go and find this property on YouTube for sale so you can take a look at this property. All right, all you have to do is type the address. It's the same going to be in this video, and I'm going to link the property below. That being said, this is 1242 Whisper Drive in Largo. It's a 1,600 square foot home with 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, and it's currently listed for $650,000, and it includes all the property furniture and decoration that you see.
Big benefit.
All right, so it is very important to us to be able to cash flow our properties, Austin. We want to close on a home and be able to start making money right away. It's really important that we don't leave any months without income. So buying a home that already has that included, such as furniture, is a great point, as well as security system. So you will have cameras as well as a wireless automated AC system and your Sledge code lock smart code. This home is on Zillow, guys, so if you want, you can scroll through the photos in there. I don't want to take way too much time on this because today we're here to talk about numbers. But this property features a very nice wooden floor. As you come in, you see a large living area with dining table and the kitchen. All this furniture is already included, and it's part of the design that was provided by our property manager. So we're gonna get a little bit more in depth on that because our property manager on this home, our new property manager, I must say, has given us a step-by-step program and plan that we're being implementing in order to take this property to the next level. So We're gonna show you that plan eventually here in this video and show you where we're at and what's left to be done. But this is room number 2, the teal room. We have a guest bathroom, a master bedroom that connects with the patio outside. It has its own bathroom as well. We want to update this vanity. Again, coffee table, all these things come included. We've converted the garage already. So the garage has a mini split AC, basketball hoop, multi-game table that can be converted between a pool table to a ping pong table and an air hockey table. And it has a playroom with I believe it's a 65-inch TV screen and a PlayStation 5. So they've been adding some insulation to the garage door that has already.
PS5? That's awesome.
Yeah, we have the PS5 there, and it's a really nice, cozy room, Austyn. I'll be honest, when we were
Look
doing
at it. It's so cool. I love the epoxy floor too. Yeah.
I was hanging out there most of the time during the open house, playing with the hoops and talking to clients, but it was just a hangout room. You get what I'm saying? And it also cools up really nicely. It gets really cold very fast. This is a bathroom that we have outdoors. This bathroom is by the pool, so your guests don't necessarily have to go inside the house to use the bathroom. And then you have the pool area. So the pool area currently has an enclosure. It has solar heating panels, which are providing a different temperature to that water. So that water is a little bit warmer because of that solar panels. Now, it's not like a spa. It's not 100 degrees. It's not going to be really warm. It just makes it less cold during the winter months. That's really what it does. So hopefully I'll be able to show that to you in the photos. But
How many guests is this set up for again, Luis?
How many what?
How many guests?
Currently, this property is set up to host 12 guests.
Okay.
We have to tell you a little bit about the story of the property. So as I scroll to these photos, I'm going to start bringing you up to speed with what's going on with this property in terms of management. And Austyn, feel free to pitch in at any time if you have something you'd like to say. Here's a photo of the solar panels heating the pool. But folks, stop the recording here. With property management here in the Pinellas County, it's a very important topic. And if you were to be in my line of work, if you were to be in my shoes, you will be hearing on a daily basis how many properties are not performing. And it's not because they don't have the right amenities or the right furniture or the right location. They just don't have good management. If you're an out-of-state buyer owner and you're unable to come here and check on your property, it's very easy for a property manager to start lacking on a lot of aspects. Austyn, I'm going to have you come in here for a little bit and talk about that. What was your experience like?
You know, I decided to originally to go with kind of what's the cheapest, you know, and I'm not going to name names on here on the video, but it was a bigger company that's nationwide, and they charge about 10%. You know, sounds like a great deal, 10%, but as I use them, I've learned a couple of things. One is that they are not the boots on the ground. The boots on the ground are like the cleaner managers that they hire, and they're pretty much given free reign, you know, on your property. And I mean, that's good and bad, right? Like, you do want them to be able to do what they can do on their property and come in when they need to make things happen for you. But they are not attentive to the cleaners. They're not attentive to the boots on the ground because they have so many clients out there. And so you can make complaints, those kind of things, but it really doesn't, you really don't feel like you have a finger on the button, if that makes sense. So when I changed my management over to a local gentleman, and he charges a little bit more. I think he charges about 15%, but it's such a night and day difference because he takes care of these properties like they're his own. And he has really good insight and information and is following the current trends of the market. And so not only am I making more money and paying him more, but I'm making 5-star reviews every time, you know? And my property I know is getting taken care of, and any small issue that comes up, he's going to take care of it for me. I ended up trusting this gentleman so much that I gave him a budget. If it costs under $200 to fix, just fix it. I trust him that much. Where Evolve, it's, you know, every little thing or stuff just gets overlooked, but you know, any little thing you're going to have to go and get this done or whatever. It's not the cleaner's job, right, to replace your coffee table. I get that. That was my experience, and Evolve worked, just so you know, it worked, and we did make money, but there was things that were lacked, which was the property condition and just feeling like you had a finger on the button, you know. And so with my current gentleman, I know my houses are getting taken care of. I know he's trying to fill in every gap that he can, and I know that he's marketing the properties well because we are making money. We getting reservations in, and we have more 5-star reviews than we ever had before. So I'm very excited that I switched. I did that pretty recently this year, and now we've had some clients that are switching over to a local property manager as well. That is really awesome and taking care of their properties. And they have the best cleaners, they got the best pool guys, the best lawn guys, and they're the boots on the ground. And you're only as good as the boots on the ground. You're only as good as your property manager. And so I think it's extremely important to have good property management, and that can make or break a deal, you know.
Very briefly, to those who are just joining us, our property is located here in the state of Florida. The Pinellas County is right here in the central west coast of Florida. We have a small peninsula. They call this the Tampa Bay area. And we like to set up our Airbnbs very close to these beaches right here in the Pinellas County. So the property that we're telling you about is located roughly in this community here around the Highland area. I'm actually gonna go ahead and set it up so you can see the exact location. So it's roughly, if I measure the distance, if you were to drive out and if you wanted to go to the beach, you are about 5 miles from the beach. I'm not sure if you can see this right here. So that being said, folks, not to jump around too much, now that I got the location out of the way, this property, unfortunately, did not start with the right management team. Now we have a new set of managers that have provided a strategy that we're trying to follow. That strategy conveys new furniture for all the bedrooms. We already have it. So the furniture that you see on that photo is new furniture that we brought up. Okay, the homeowners in this house have already spent money on making that interior of the property even better. That's also the reason why we went ahead and upgraded the garage into a game room. So as far as I understand, according to the property manager's plan, which I'm gonna go ahead and show you here in just a moment. Austyn, let me know if you can see this.
I can.
So this is the king bedroom that we have. So as you can see, the property managers provided us a very specific view of the property with colors and textures. The bathroom. And again, folks, this all has already been done. They've already invested all their money on getting all these items. So now we're in a position where all we need is to finish the project with the exterior. We already have all these items. You see the PlayStation 4, the game room. This has already been completed. But here's where we're at right now. We also have the floaties. We have the decorative items. What we want to do now is we want to tear down this roof right here, the ceiling. We want to get rid of that enclosure and open it up with a netted enclosure. That's going to provide a lot of more light coming to the house and open up our space. We quoted it, it's between $8,000 to $10,000 to have a very good job done. Okay, and then on the outside exterior area of the house, just
and that's why people come to Florida, right? They want that sunshine, so they want to spend outdoors.
True. The homeowner thought it would be a better idea to just cut off the shade, but that's not. They weren't thinking in terms of vacation rentals. They were just living there in that property. And we don't see many covered pools like that anymore. So it's an older style of pool. But in this community, in this space outside, we like to bring out, we like to make some more sitting areas. So this is what we're missing out on the property. And as you can see, it's not a huge project. This bar right here, it's very inexpensive. It's not a very expensive bar. And we could spend $5,000 on an outdoor kitchen. We're not doing that. We're starting with very small projects. So at this point, folks, you know the cost of the house, the amenities, the details, where to find it, where to watch the video. You know what it needs. Now I'm gonna give it up to us, give it on to Austyn so he can go over the numbers and everything that he's prepared for us. Austyn, you can go ahead and take it away, my friend.
You got it. Let me share my screen real fast.
Yep.
Okay. I will pull this up as soon as it allows me. Okay, so I'm actually going to jump to our sheet right now here. Okay, guys, so I prepared the numbers here. This is a STR calculator. It's also a BRRRR calculator, and it stands for buy, renovate, refinance, or rent and refinance, but that's not in this case, obviously. So this is the STR calculator that I got going on. So as you can see, the left-hand side here, I have 3 beds, 3 baths. I put in my square footage already, my lot size. I got a purchase price here, and I did this, guys, based on 20% down, and that's with what the current rates are, and for investment property. This is just would be strictly investment, not second home, but just standard 20% down, so you kind of get the idea of what we're doing here for numbers. But full asking is $644,999. I got 20% down, $128,999 out of pocket. Okay, things that you won't have out of pocket that I had to take away was the furnishing, because it's already been furnished, right? So there's a big savings there. It's something like $25,000, $30,000 that we normally see for furnishing is not going to actually be on this property if you're purchasing it. So that's a big savings, obviously. And then another thing I took out of there is like flights and whatnot to come down there with a team to either set it up or paying a team to set it up, because it's already set up. I mean, there's obviously the few things that you do have to do that I have not added in here, like the roof for the netting, those kind of things. But we're looking at $515,999 as a loan amount after putting 20% down. 7.5% is about standard rate right now. 30-year fixed mortgage. So we're looking at $3,607 as the payment, and with taxes and insurance. And I got the taxes, but I estimated the insurance because it's going to depend on what your credit score is and claims, all that kind of stuff. But I estimated high for everybody. So we're looking at like $4,286 as a total payment. And then what I did is I went on AirDNA and I looked up, you know, basically what this house would rent for. And I'll show you that real fast so you can see it. It's kind of hard to see with this area here. Okay. So we're just going to do that real fast again. Whisper.
1242.
1242?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whisper Drive.
All right, right here. Change this around. So this isn't going to show exactly what I have in there, but I will explain. We're looking at 12 guests. Okay, so this should show like 60-something thousand. Yeah, $66,000. Okay, so what I did is I run the numbers on AirDNA. That's what I do every time to see what the average is, what the general is. And so this number right here, 66,000, that is what a professionally managed Airbnb and unprofessionally managed Airbnb meshed together makes you, basically. That's your average that you're gonna get. And so I took the average daily rate, because that's usually pretty spot on, but I changed the occupancy rate. And what I did is I changed the occupancy rate to what I've been getting even in the slowest months out there. And so August is typically the slowest month, but I believe that we had an 89% occupancy rate with my manager. And so I put that in here, guys. I put 85% as occupancy rate at the $306. And that's where we're getting the 95,000 average a year. That's probably a little low, but we're trying to do conservative numbers here, as we do with all investments, to make sure that we're still going to hit that button or hit those numbers. So I got our property taxes and our insurance in here, the annual, so you can see that piece in there.
Austyn, sorry to interrupt you. Could you do me a favor and change that from 3 to 5 bedrooms and see what happens?
3 to 5
rentalizer?
On AirDNA? Okay.
Yeah. I just want people to see how easy it is to just change a few things here and there, and then boom, there you go. If you make that 6+ bedrooms, Austyn, let me just see what that brings out. Because remember, we can turn garages into 2 beds. There you go, 128,000. So all we're doing right now is we're telling AirDNA to tap into those high producing units, and now we're getting high producing units results. Obviously, we're not going to buy a home just based off of these projections, but you see how these numbers can easily go up and down depending on the amount of rooms that you have.
And something to keep in mind is, if we hit top properties over here for Largo, and let's just change the bedrooms here to 3 bedrooms. Okay, we're going to go 3 bedrooms. We're going to just hit apply changes here for the entire home. And now you can see that this one's right down the street from Martinka's house.
That's down the street from that's literally 2 homes away from our client's house.
Yep. And so you can see that all of these are within the 100,000 range. And what we're trying to tell you here is that we are copying and pasting what these properties are doing to hit those numbers or higher. And so for 3-bedroom homes, these are the top properties in the area, and they're grossing roughly around the 100,000 mark. So that's what I have here in our calculator, is about 95,000. I'm trying to be conservative, but we're looking at taxes, insurance, we have management fee in there, we got cleaning fee in there, and we can change this cleaning fee up and down. It just depends on the square footage. I got it up to 150 because it's a little bit smaller square footage home, but it just depends, so that could be anywhere between 150 and 250 a night. And you're charging that cleaning fee, just so you know, you're charging that cleaning fee to the client. So we put it in there to be conservative, but you are charging the cleaning fee. And so we're looking at a net annual profit, even with the rates as high as they are, at $10,000. Okay. Doesn't seem like a lot. I get that. The cash on cash return, it's only 7.8%. We try to hit double-digit cash on cash returns anytime or every time that we can. But when you look at this as a future investment as well, rents are not going to go down. Inflation is going to cause your home's equity to go up. And what happens when you refinance next year when the rates go down? If this rate just goes to 6%, for instance, let's look at that. 6%. That goes to 6%. Your cash on cash return now is 12.5%, and you're making about an extra $6,000 a year just by going down 1.5 points. And when the rates come down, that's going to definitely increase your cash flow. One other thing I want to show you is what your income is going to do. As you can see here, so I'll move this out of my way here. You can see that the income, just at a revenue growth of 3%, by year 5, you're at 106,000. And I love to look at the 5-year math here. Operating expenses are going to go up too. Everything gets more expenses as inflation goes up, right? And their target inflation is 2%, but we're going to put in 3%. We know it's going to be higher than that. Net operating income, we have all this in here. Your deductions, this is what your tax savings is. So year 1, right here, guys, 38,594. That's including what your tax savings is. So that's including you taking all of your items that you're writing off every year off of your normal wage that you're already making. Let's say you're a wage earner making $100,000 a year. This is helping you reduce your actual tax liability, creating more money in your pocket and less to the government. So you can see I like to look at year 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at $44,000 roughly a year at year 5. And then, okay, we love to talk about the equity. The equity has been insane the last couple of years. I get that. So we're going to go over a 10-year average and taking in those last couple of years. stretched over 10 years. We've been looking at like a 9% average, and that's a pretty low average. You could argue 12, 15% at this point. Obviously, it's a kind of a stagnant year this year because of rates, but when rates come down, this equity is going to continue to grow. But just take a look at year 5, almost $1 million. Year 6, you're looking at $1 million in equity. I'm sorry, $1 million in property value. And your equity, after you've been paying your mortgage down and having your guests pay your mortgage, is $610,000 by year 5. And so if you're taking your equity into account, you're making, what is this, $122,000 year 5, including your equity. So year 1, only 16 grand. Year 2, you can see it almost doubles. It's 34 grand. Year 3, $54,000. Year 4, 74. It's just crazy.
That's just the cash flow year per year. And then that net profit at the bottom that will be your equity on top of your cash flow. So in 5 years, your investment paid you in total, not just cash, but in total, $500,000. Now this is based at 9%, right, Austyn? I'm curious, what happens if we bring that to a 5%, 6%? Can we do that?
Yeah, so 5%?
Yeah, see what happens.
Okay, so even at 5%, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, year 5, we're looking at a total net equity of $343,000. We're looking at a net profit of $253,000. That's at 5%.
Right. That's pretty good.
Yep. So if you took that number, divide that by 5 years, so 253,000.
Like 50,000.
$50,600 a year, roughly, just by holding the home. And so the candy on top is obviously the equity position that you're going to have. But the rents are going to continue to go up, and as you get more reviews and more amenities and more homes, you're going to be able to create cash flow, build equity, and retire early.
Absolutely right, Austyn. Is there anything else in those numbers that you would like to bring up? I think you've been very thorough.
You know, one thing that you should keep in mind is cash on cash return and cash flow. They do come hand in hand, but you have to decide whether you want more cash flow or if you want more cash on cash return. Let me explain. Let's say you are getting closer to retirement age and you just sold a couple of your long-term rentals on the West Coast, and they were only cash flowing maybe $800 to $1,200 a month, but that hasn't been making your retirement plans happen. You don't want to put the money away into a savings account and have a low interest rate, and then you're just creating negative cash flow at that point because of inflation. So you're thinking, what do I do with this money? How do I make this work for me? Well, you could take that money and you could put a big down payment on a property like this. Let's say you put a down payment of, I'm just going to change this to like $300,000. Your cash flow obviously is going to go through the roof here. So it's not pulling over on this calculator, of course, when we're recording.
Yeah, because you changed. Austyn,
hold on, I got to change the loan now. I got to change.
Just Austyn, go back. You hit Control Z because you're gonna make it all a mess now.
No, I got her. It's fixed now.
Okay.
So your cash flow is going to be $28,000 a year on this if you're putting something like $300,000 down. So and your cash on cash return is still only 9.5%, and that's based on the 6% rate still in there. So you can see the cash on cash return went down, the cash flow went up because you put more cash into the transaction. So if you're looking for more cash flow just for retirement and you're trying to just stick the money away to where it will still continue to appreciate because of inflation and rate reductions when they come, then this is a good model for you. Now, if you're looking for cash on cash return, which means I want to put as little money into the project as possible to get my money back as fast as possible. That's what a cash on cash return means. Then you might only put 10% down. right? So on this one, I'm just going to put 65,000. I'm going to change our loan amount over here. We're going to take this number. If I can do this side by side for you. So 644,999. So we're looking at 584.99. So with a loan amount that high, leave the interest rate alone there. So now you're looking at a 17.7% cash on cash return, because guess what? You put in less money in the transaction. You only put in 65,000. So your 65,000 is only making you 11, or is actually making you 11,605 a year. So it's actually a really good cash on cash return. That's double digit at 17%. Now what happens when we change this number to the current interest rate? 7.5%. Whoops. One too many zeros there. Okay,
Yeah.
at 7.5%, you can see that the cash flow is low. It's about $4,600, but the cash on cash return is 7%. So we're still, it's the interest rates that are killing your cash on cash return and your cash flow. So all I wanted to put in there, the point I wanted to drive is you can have both cash on cash return and cash flow. You just have to make a decision on which one that you want more. So if you are a new investor and want to buy multiple of these, you want to put as least money into the transaction as possible so you can buy multiple of them and stack the cash flow. If you are just trying to retire, you got a bunch of money that you need to put away so that way it doesn't devalue to inflation, then you look at putting bigger down payments on a fewer homes in order to make that happen and keep your cash flow high.
Wonderful.
I hope that makes sense.
Thank you so much, Austyn.
Yep.
I think this has been very helpful to an investor, not just to understand this particular opportunity, but any other that comes forward. If anybody has questions, you can reach out to us anytime. Our contact info is listed below. Austyn, if I could please have you stop sharing your screen for just a second. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today on this wonderful meeting. Thank you, Austyn, for your time.
Yes, sir.
Today we're talking about the 1242nd Whisper Drive, Pinellas County, home in Largo in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. If you have questions about where that's located, it's here in this video in the beginning. This property features 3 bedrooms, 1,600 square foot, and is listed at $650,000. Includes the furniture at that price, and the price is also negotiable. It has a very nice pool and backyard area. Includes a converted garage room into a game room, solar panels that heat the pool, and has had updated electrical panel done, so that will help your insurance as well. It's a property that's estimated to make no less than $100,000 on cash on gross production as an Airbnb if it's run correctly with the right property management, a strong Airbnb demand area. Got plenty of quality in this home, but you still need to do some grades. You might need to spend and splurge a little bit more on the outside area and the patio, and just finish up the project that was originally created with the property manager. The numbers, if you have any questions about financing these deals, getting a loan, here's our buddy right there. Also the purchase price, the estimated cost for renewal, or the projected returns or aftermarket value. If you have any further questions, you can reach out to us or go back in the video to that portion of the financials where we were over that. Our strategy with this property right now is a short-term rental, but you can also go mid-term rental and charge a really nice fee for just 3-6 month stays, or even just month-to-month stays. And that's another way for you to break down your income. So call us, let us know if you have any questions. Don't miss out on this opportunity. If you've been waiting for a good deal, this is the right time to come in and set yourself up for the next season, which is January through April. That's the best season to start your Airbnb and take all your cash on that beginning of that year, so you can stay around in those colder months and again get ready for the next high season the next year. Thank you, Austyn. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Like and subscribe, follow us, and we'll see you in the next video.